Hi guys, Barbara here from Barbara Makes Crafts, and today I want to show you how to make this beautiful Christmas plaid tumbler without using epoxy resin, which I think is really neat. I just love these things. I think they are beautiful, shiny, and I think people are really going to love them. So let's go ahead and get started. Today what you will need, of course, is a tumbler. This is an Art Minds from Michaels, and I like this because it doesn't have any sort of logo or anything on it. It's just smoother, prettier to me. Not that logo really matters, but these are about the same price as the ones you can get at Walmart, so very cheap. You will need Mod Podge. You will need paint, a spray paint, whatever color, red, green. I used white. You'll need a polyacrylic sealer. Of course, you'll need glitter, and this is Recollections from Michaels. You'll need tape, 1/8 inch. This is 1/8 inch double-sided sticky tape. You will also need painter's tape for this. You will need Crystalac Bright Tones. That is going to be your epoxy substitute. Awesome stuff, water-based. It has no harsh fumes, no harsh chemicals. It's safe, you know, for your children, whatever, if you have allergies or asthma, anything like that. I get migraines from strong smells, so this doesn't cause any of that. And alcohol, of course. You will need alcohol and your lint-free cloth. You will need several pairs of gloves, latex or nitrile. I don't like latex. I don't like the way they honestly leave my hands smelling, so I use the latex free, and I know there are a lot of latex allergies, so that's a good way to go for you guys too. And of course you will need a paintbrush to paint on your Mod Podge. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to take you outside to spray paint my tumbler. One thing to note is this does take several days to make. Oh, and you will also need a tumbler turner. I'm using this one from Memory Makers. I like it. It's versatile. It has several speeds, and it plugs into a USB. So anywhere you have, like I have mine plugged into my Cricut. Anywhere you have a USB, you can take this and use it. And also a decal if you want to put a decal. And I've got Deck the Halls, and you can find this one on my resource page at barbramakescrafts.com. You can get a password completely free. Just put in your email address and I will send it right away, and then you'll have access to all my cut files and projects and whatever else that you need there. And alright, so let's go outside. Alright guys, so the first thing that we want to do is take our tumbler that we're going to be putting the glitter and the design on, and we just want to sand it down a little bit, not much, just enough to get rough it up a little bit so the paint and the glitter will stay on better. And then I'm going to give it a good wipe down with my alcohol. You can rinse it also in cold water in your sink if you want to. I think the alcohol gets the fingerprints and oil prints and everything else. Okay, so that part is done. We're sanded. We've put a little alcohol on it, and now what I want to do is just put a little bit, I'm using just some duct tape, around the inside edge of the tumbler, because I don't want paint to get in there when I spray paint it. So I'm just, like I said, just using some duct tape. Painter's tape will work. Really most any kind of tape. And I'm just putting it right down inside. It'll be a couple of inches down. so we don't get any overspray. And if you're skilled, you can put it across that top lip as well. I'm not that skilled, so what I will do is, if I get spray paint up on that top piece, I will wipe it off with a cloth. That will be much easier and much prettier. And you can, if you would like to, you can like tape off the top edge, the bottom edge, anywhere you don't want the Crystal-Lac to be. I'm taking it all the way to the top because Crystal-Lac is safe to use once it's cured completely. There's no harmful chemicals, nothing like that in it, so that is why I'm going to take it all the way to the top. Okay, so now I want you to go outside with me so we can get this painted. Okay, here we are outside my home in Tennessee. It's a nice, cool day. Clouds are coming in the fall. Not too cold, just a little cooler than I like it. Anyway, so we're going to spray this. We're going to use short bursts. We're not going to hold the spray on for too long. Shook up good and just use quick, even bursts. And we only need one coat of this for it to turn out right. And if you're going to put glitter on the bottom, don't forget to go ahead and paint it as well. I am not going to glitter the bottom of mine because I'm going to put one of my stickers on it to sell it. Okay, so I think we've got that covered. We just need to wait a little bit for that to dry, and I will be right back and we will complete the next steps. So now that we have it painted, our next step is going to be to tape it off using painter's tape, or I'm just using duct tape. You want the 1 inch wide of the tape, and I'm using obviously 2 inches wide. So I'm going to cut the strips in half. But you want a good 2 feet or so of the tape so it can go across the whole cup. It does want to stick to itself though, so you should watch that. Okay, so we're going to place it across the top of the cup, the tumbler, in the center, and then just tape it all the way down. Now if you're doing the bottom, you'll want to tape it across the bottom too. I'm taping it across the bottom just to make sure we get full coverage everywhere. You'll want to tape it and make sure the edges are sealed down really well so that nothing can bleed through. And then I'm just going to cut this off there. And then you want to turn the cup. Some people turn it 90 degrees. Some people turn it 120 degrees. I'm going to turn it about 120 degrees. And just do the same thing. Take it across the top. And down the side of your tumbler. You want about 1 inch or so of space between pieces of tape. So that is a good way to gauge where you put your next stripe. Okay, there's that, and we're gonna do one more like that. I'm just using what I have on hand as far as tape goes. I do like these tumblers from Michaels because they don't have any kind of emblem on them anywhere. They're the art mines, and they are about as cheap as the ones you can get at Walmart. And they are amazing for this project. Okay. So one more across the top, making sure that we have about an inch or so of space between pieces of tape. Okay, secure your edges. This kind of reminds me of Beetlejuice, if you remember that movie. I don't know why. All right, our next step here will be to do your horizontal lines. I'm going to do this in the same way, just across the horizontally. So I'm taping across this way. There's a line on the bottom of the cup that I'm using to line this up with. And then go about an inch or so up. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going all the way to the top is because this crystal-lac is safe, a lot safer and a lot thinner than the epoxy resin, so it's okay to drink from it. I don't know, the epoxy resin is just too thick for me to want to drink from it. I do usually use a straw though, and a lid with these tumblers, but y'all, I'm so excited about this one. This would be a great Christmas present for a friend or family member. I love it. All right, guys, so there we have it, all taped up and ready to go. Our next step will be to start the Mod Podge and glitter process. Okay, so for the Mod Podge, I'm using dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I like this one because it gives a good clear coat. I mean, they're all clear, but it's a little more heavy duty than just your regular Mod Podge. It's dishwasher safe, although it's not recommended that you put tumblers of this type in the dishwasher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 1-inch brush, paintbrush, and just doing 3 or 4 sections at a time, making sure we get it in the right up against the edges of the tape so we don't miss any corners or anything. And then just sprinkle with your glitter, and it's a good idea to do this over a piece of cardstock, piece of paper, or something like that, so that you can save your excess glitter. And then I'm just going to tap it down then we'll start on the next section, which I got glitter all over my paintbrush. And so I did not make enough of the mixed glitter, so I just poured the rest of the red from my cardstock there. And now I'm going to fill this with just as much green to finish off the tumbler. Just go ahead and mix some more of this. All right, and then we'll just keep on keeping on here. Just kind of go around and make sure I got everything on that. And now it is time to take off this vertical tape. Tape peeled off part of my glitter there, so I'm just going to fix it very carefully, adding a little Mod Podge and pouring some more glitter on it. And it's all filled in, and we can start on the next piece, which may be a little trickier, but we can power through this, guys. So where you've got your red, your plain red, you want to carefully fill that in between the two reds, leaving the space between the mixed colors open. Colors back into the cup. So we're going to keep on around the cup until we get it done. As you can see, it's coming along nicely. My lines would have been better. Definitely use a 1-inch tape rather than trying to make do. That is a big lesson that I've learned for today. So I'm going to put this glitter back in this cup, and I will find an empty glitter cup to put this in for my next one that I make. Alright, so now we do the crown. is going to be to spray it down with a clear acrylic, and I'm using Treehouse Studio clear acrylic. I'm not exactly sure where I got it because I've had it for a little while, but probably Michael's if I had to guess about it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just spray a quick coat on it just to keep our glitter from running all over the place. And once this is dry, I'll be right back with you. So now that the polyacrylic is dried and the glitter is much less likely to flake off, we're going to, if you're adding the silver and the gold, we're going to add that step here. You may want to skip this part if you're not going to do that, but we're going to take our double-sided tape, 1/8 inch, and just start at the top and go down. This stuff is super sticky, so you really want to try to get that placement. And I'm putting it about halfway down, halfway between the green and the red. For this effect. And I'm going to do about every other section in the gold and every other section in the silver. And you want to peel that backing off. Doesn't really want to let go, but there we go. Okay, so you want to peel that backing off, and I'm going to go ahead and glitter as I go because I might not ever find this tape again. It just sort of blends right in. So I'm taking my gold glitter and I'm just going to glitter right there on that tape. And I skipped a green because I'm going to do green. I'm going to do gold, silver, gold, silver. And it's time to start with the bright tone. And before I do that, I'm going to take a little alcohol and rub it around the top of my cup, because there's glitter up there that I don't want on there when the whole thing is said and done. Alright, I think that's good. I'm going to take this, just run it across a little bit, just in case there's some tape there that might be holding on to some. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and remove this inside tape. You shouldn't have issues with glitter getting glued on the inside anymore. Alright, so now we're going to put it on the turner, just like so. So my tape doesn't want to stay down. And we will turn it on very low. The bright tone is much thinner than the epoxy resin, but it's also much better. Like if you have people maybe with asthma or get migraines with strong smells, and or you just don't like the thought of epoxy resin. This bright tone, you don't have to mix it. You just pour it from its tub into your little bottle and just spread it on like so. And you want just a thin coat. Another good thing about the bright tone is you can reapply. It's ready to reapply after about 3 or 4 hours, whereas the epoxy resin takes about 8 or 9 hours. Just apply it, make sure we get it everywhere, all over the thing, and we're going to let it turn, and I will be back. Alright guys, so now I have added 2 coats of the Crystalac to this, and so now I'm going to go ahead and just sand this. I'm going to wet sand it really, really good so that the glitter is kind of smooth. You don't want to sand any of the glitter off. You just want it to be kind of smooth down. And I'm not getting any glitter off, so that's a good sign that the Crystalac is holding up really well. Alright. I think that's a pretty good amount of sanding. Then I'm going to give it just a good wash inside and out. So if you are going to add a decal, it's at this point that you will want to do that. I'm just drying it off ever so lightly. And now we'll get ready to put the decal on. Alright guys, so we finished sanding and drying it off, washing it off really good. And I went ahead and added my decal that says Deck the Halls. And I'm just going to say that when you're doing it with the Crystalac, the vinyl does not want to stick on as well as it does with the epoxy resin. So you just have to be very careful and work very slowly with that vinyl to get it off. I did finally get it off and set on there. So now we're going to add more Crystalac to it. The Crystalac is actually going to take about maybe 3 or 4 more layers, just because it is a good bit thinner than the epoxy resin. So I'm going to put my gloves on. For this, and the benefits for Crystalac bright tones is water-based, and it is no strong odors, and it does take a little bit longer to cure, up to like 30 days, but maybe after a week or so you can use it or sell it, or however you're gonna do. So I'm just shaking it up really well. I'm gonna turn her on. I usually turn my tumblers pretty slowly. Alright, so we're just gonna add more and rub it on as we go. I'm trying to be very careful around the vinyl because I don't want it to come off when I'm trying to get the sealer on. Another way to do that, which I just thought of, would be maybe to spray it with that spray acrylic again, just so you don't have any surprises when you're trying to cover it with the Crystalac. And I have this bag down here to keep my tumbler turner from getting all sorts of junk on it, even though it already has all the junk on it from previous projects. So, okay, so we're going to let this spin about 3 or 4 hours, and I'm going to add 2 or 3 more coats, and I will be back to show you the finished project. Okay, so here you see the finished product, the halls. You've got the red, green, the gold, the silver, and you know, while this is not a perfect one, I still love it. I think it's great. I know I did 2 layers of the crystal lac before I put the decal on. Then I put the decal on, and one thing to note about that decal was it was very, very difficult to get it to stick on. So I just put it in place very slowly, very carefully, and then put the crystal lac on top of it, and it is good to go. I put 2 more layers after the decal. Maybe I could have used 1 more, but I think this is just lovely. If you like my video, please just subscribe, hit that like button, and while you're there, just ring that little bell so you get all the notifications of my crafts. And as of the first of the year, I will be doing some Cricut tutorials to show you how to do all that this Cricut can do, and I think you're going to really enjoy those. So, and you can follow me on my Facebook page at Barbara Makes Crafts, and also on Pinterest. So until I see you again, happy crafting! Hey guys, Barbara again from BarbaraMakesCrafts.com, and I'm so excited because this week I got in some things that you are just gonna love. So I'm having a contest. When I reach 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I will be giving away 3 Cricut tools to to 3 subscribers, 3 lucky subscribers. And I just want to show you what I'm giving because I think you'll be excited too. This is a premium fine point blade and housing. Guys, this is the one. This is the one you use almost every single time. I'm giving away this awesome Cricut blade and housing organizer. Y'all, it keeps like, I forget how many housings, and then it has a place at the bottom for, like, I don't know if you can see that, but for your quick swap blades right there. Yeah, I love this. This is the greatest thing since zippers, in my opinion. And then I'm giving away a scoring stylus if you don't want to invest in the scoring tool for your in the quick swap blades. They are quite expensive. The scoring stylus will work. And I use this like when I'm making Christmas cards and things like that. So I think that you will enjoy that too. So please hit that subscribe button, and while you're there, just go ahead and like. And if you will ring that little bell, you won't miss out on a single video.